All right, welcome back to the KR Daily Transmission. Had a really busy morning. How are you? Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. And I have some, I've been reading through your comments and your questions and your feedback in the YouTube comments on our videos from this past week. And I just want to thank everyone for all of your amazing questions and your reflections and your feedback. It's been really special getting to know you and your depth of contemplation, your articulation, the questions that are still leaning into those tender areas of your heart's prayer for your loved ones on the other side, your heart's prayer to deepen in your divine purpose with them. And um, I've really want to send out a massive, like, heart hug from my heart to those of you who are still reconciling with how your loved ones have departed, and your prayer to feel that reconciliation and peace with them. And my intention for doing this series leading up to Love from the Other Side, which is our in-person event in Scottsdale, Arizona, that's coming up on October 15th. My intention is to bring greater peace, greater understanding, and of course, a greater sense of connection to all of your guardian angels and all of their forms, including the souls of your loved ones that have transitioned to the other side. I'm going to take this question from one of our certified Sophia Circle leaders, who posted this question yesterday. Her name is Teresa Gooch, and you can find her on our Certified Leaders official directory on my website at kaia.com. And what I loved about this question from Teresa is it really reminded me about Mother Mary's teachings from the Sophia Code regarding the teachings around destiny and your oversoul and fulfilling your divine purpose. Mother Mary's chapter is chapter 9 in the Sophia Code, and that's about the 6th section. I can't remember the exact section in her chapter teachings, but it's an extremely powerful series of teachings on fulfilling your divine purpose, discovering what destiny means, the power of destiny from the perspective of your oversoul, which is it is the fullness of your soul, including the consciousness of your higher self. So just so you know, just some people were getting questions about where this live event is, it will be located in Central Scottsdale. The location is beautiful. It's a beautiful venue. This is a one-day event, and the venue information is included with your ticket purchase. I also want to share, we've gotten some questions around the pricing of the event and why it's priced the way it is. This is not an event. This is an event. I was talking, many of you know, I shared yesterday, I'm doing a jewelry mastermind with Mia Whitehorse, who helps with our jewelry platform, our jewelry ministry. And she and I were discussing about this event, and she was saying, no one's ever really done it like this before. And so of course there's going to be questions. Of course, people are going to wonder, like, what is really happening here? Because for most people, when they go to an event like this, they're just watching someone on stage offer messages, from deceased loved ones, or even if they're not loved ones, deceased ancestors. And then it's just, that's just the format, and it just keeps going on like that. And it's entertaining at best, and hopefully sometimes it's really healing, depending on the level of the practitioner offering those messages. But this is different. What's happening is I'm bringing people on stage, and I'm going to be workshopping with them in real time, not just messages from their loved ones, but I'm going to be coaching them through a dynamic dialogue that helps these individuals identify how they have a divine purpose with this soul on the other side. This is very different work. And I'll also be offering teachings about strengthen your own intuition to recognize signs, receive messages, and to provide those messages to others about, you know, when messages are coming through to you from loved ones on the other side. And it's also an opportunity for you to participate in a very dynamic community dialogue about death, life, the afterlife, the soul's journey across space and time, spiritual development and evolution for the soul. It, all of our events are so content rich, like they're so content driven. And the purpose of all of our events is to activate your own empowerment around these subject matters. It's not just to bring healing and grace and reconciliation, which of course is always a goal. It's also to provide an opportunity to activate your own intuition, to activate your own empowered relationship dynamic moving forward from that event. And it's also a beautiful preface to our psychic development training program that's already available on my website. So it's really a gentle offering for those who are new to the Sophia Code platform, new to these teachings and new to psychic development. And it's also really special for those who are advanced. That's what's so fascinating about the Sophia Code events. They really meet attendees exactly where they come into the event and always elevate and uplift everyone in the room to their next level of evolution, of awakening. And so I hope that helps a little bit about what's happening at the event. It's going to be extremely multidimensional, exceptional. It's going to provide an exceptional education. It's going to include a riveting community dialogue where we're passing around the mic, and of course we're bringing people up on stage as well. And so I feel like it's been priced very actually at the minimum of what everyone is going to be receiving, because I wanted it to be affordable enough for everyone to come that was genuinely meant to be there for this event. Again, it's not about a psychic roadshow. This is about true and lasting and life-changing transformation, and connecting very important relationships for divine purposes to online and on board, and our community that could have an impact on, you know, on honestly tens to hundreds to even thousands of souls, depending on what your divine purpose is, connected to loved ones on the other side. So if you'd like to learn more about how to attend this event live in Scottsdale, Arizona, you can reach out to my team angels. They're happy to get on the phone with you. I am, unfortunately, this venue does not provide live stream services. And so this is not a live stream event. This is an in-person event. And so we thank you for your understanding. We're always doing the very best we can when we're producing these live events. And that's also why I've been offering so much content, free content here leading up to this event, because I know there's many people in our community that cannot join us live in Scottsdale around the world due to travel mandates that are still in place that I honestly believe are very totalitarian. And that's just how I feel about that. So anyways, coming back to today's question around this topic about receiving greater insight into the soul's, our soul's journey, all of our soul's journey, in both before we come to earth, in the afterlife, the journey of our loved ones on the other side. Today, our question comes from Teresa Gooch, who's one of our beautiful certified Sophia Circle leaders. Our certified Sophia Circle leaders lead what is called Sophia Circle journeys through every chapter of the Sophia Code. They've gone through this wonderful and very powerful and very advanced mentorship training certification program, where once they become certified, they become co-leaders with us in the Sophia Code movement, and they are given permission to represent the brand and to include the Sophia Code in their lightwork ministry. And we are currently leading our 2022 live journey through our certification program. And so Teresa is one of our established leaders, and I just want to send out a big heart hug to you, Teresa, and gratitude for you writing in this question. And listen to how advanced this question is. This really reflects the beauty of our Sophia Circle leaders and where they're resonating at in their light work. Teresa asks, you mentioned on Friday that our Oversoul has designed the timing and everything about our transition before we came here, which again is featured in the Sophia Code teachings with Mother Mary's chapter. And she continues to write, can you speak about our free will and everyday choices, and if that ever changes anything from what was already planned? My human understanding has a challenging time grasping the relationship to destiny that's already planned and going to happen versus our free will and the choices that we decide in each moment, in our present moment, thus creating our future. I love this question, Teresa, and I'm really happy to answer this today for everyone, because this answer is the same for those who you are maybe perhaps grieving, who are loved ones on the other side, and or it's true for when you transition to the other side. So whenever what we're talking about here, the way Mother Mary shares about the concept of destiny in the Sophia Code is a destiny. She says destiny is a promise that you made to yourself. And she talks about how in the Sophia Code, destiny, the illusion that there is a God outside of you that is determining your destiny, that you haven't even agreed to, it's false, that's an illusion. And what Mother Mary teaches in the Sophia Code is that your higher self, the power of your own divinity in communion with God, decides upon all of the details and the divine purpose of your choice to come into a body into this lifetime or into any lifetime. Here's why. Your opportunity to be in a body is a gift. It's a privilege. It's a golden lottery ticket. No matter how challenging or traumatic your life has been, it's still a gift, because there are quite literally billions upon billions of souls that are waiting for bodies to participate in their classroom of evolution. And so when we come into a world that's this polarized, that's so addicted to war, it's very easy to forget what a privilege and a gift it is to be alive and to have a human body. Because every moment that you spend in a human body, or any body for that matter, in any incarnation, we also incarnate as other beings other than just human across space and time. Anytime you get to be in a body, you are in a major university program for your soul. Your soul is evolving, it's growing both through the pain, the challenges, the trauma, as well as the creativity, the bliss, the love. It doesn't even matter. Pain to love, pain to joy, to pleasure, to ease, challenges, heartbreak, to, heart fulfillment. It's all data for the soul that grows and evolves and expands your consciousness individually, your individual soul consciousness, but it also expands the collective consciousness of the species you are incarnated into, as well as all beings. That's why in the Buddhist tradition, they often share, in their closing meditation, we dedicate the merit of this practice to the liberation of all beings, because every moment that your soul gets in a physical world is an opportunity to contribute to the awakening of all beings. We really are that connected. And so what Teresa is writing, what she's asking about here is she's saying, okay, our oversoul has designed the timing and everything about our transition before we came here. So let me break that down a little bit from the Sophia Code. Your oversoul is the overarching and eternal soul energy that lives and exists in every direction and reality simultaneously. Your higher self is, you can have many higher self parts of your consciousness descend into different worlds of form to incarnate into different bodies, such as being a human. So there's a part of your oversoul that sections itself off and descends like a column of light into this matrix, to this particular physical matrix. That higher self-consciousness and your oversoul in communion with all that is, with God, consciousness, source, Sophia, whatever you call God, Great Spirit, Christ, Buddha, that consciousness and your soul make an agreement about why you're going to take on a body and the role you're going to play in your divine purpose, and in, all of the parameters that you're setting up for yourself. It goes through an approval process between you and God. And you agree. You say, God, I want to do this. And God says, okay, well, here's the coordinates to have that happen. Here's how, if you follow this divine purpose, it interlocks and interfaces with everyone else's divine purpose and to the greater planet whole for the evolution of all beings. Are you willing? And your oversoul says yes. And that sets into motion a destiny that your human body has to live through. So there isn't anything that you are living in this life that you haven't agreed to before you came here. And a lot of people have a hard time believing that, because there's a lot of really horrible stuff that you can experience here on the earth plane. But through the perspective of God consciousness or Christ consciousness or Buddha consciousness, we identify that everything that we have chosen to experience in this world, we're not condoning it. We're using it as spiritual medicine for our ministry and our divine purpose to be fulfilled and the upliftment of others. So what Teresa is asking about, she's saying what's challenging is, can you speak about our free will and the everyday choices? And does that ever change anything from what was already planned in our destiny? Here's what I can answer about that. My understanding of free will, and I've spent my entire life channeling, so I've spent a lot of time looking at this. Our experience of free will is how much we're going to align with our spiritual health, the resonance of our higher self, embodying our divinity. How much are we choosing to come into alignment with what we already agreed we would show up to, versus resisting or running from what we already agreed to. So the free will doesn't change the agreements of what we said we would show up to. The free will is our personal experience, how in alignment or how in resistance we are to showing up to what we already said we were going to walk ourselves through in this lifetime. So for example, when we are living from our free will instead of consecrating our free will to divine will, you can run into all kinds of walls and blockages in your life, obstacles, traumatic relationships, unnecessary near-death experiences or physical illnesses or accidents, because you are running so hard from what you said you were going to do in this lifetime. You can't change what you already said you were going to do. The game's already on. As soon as you're in that body, as soon as you're in the human avatar incarnation of who you said you're going to be, it is game on. And you are there to fulfill what you already promised yourself you were going to fulfill. So the journey of free will is, how easy or hard are you going to make it on yourself to come into alignment with what you said you would receive, what you said you would give, what you said you would serve, what you said you would step up into, what you said you would embody, who you said you would marry, who you said you would fulfill your divine purpose with, who you said you would co-create with, who you said you would, the children you said that you would have, the souls that you said you wouldn't walk with in this lifetime. What's so interesting is, like, once we get boots on the ground in our human body, our free will is about either how comfortable and aligned and willing we can show up to that journey, or how uncomfortable and painful we can make it on ourselves to show up to the story, to the movie, to the plot that we already plotted for ourselves as our destiny before we ever came here. How's this landing for you? Share with me in the chat. let me know where this is, where this is going for you. I'm curious where this is landing for you. So the irony of all of this is you already created your entire life before you came here, both the horrors and the highlights. And how you walk through it is your choice. And the journey of over time, you identify, whoa, free will is really, it can create a lot of chaos. It can create a lot of drama. It can create a lot of unnecessary trauma in my life. What is the solution? Well, the solution is what we discover in the Sophia Code Mystery School. And that is consecrating your free will to the divine will of your higher self, because then you're coming into alignment. You're getting on your own team. You're coming into alignment with all of your spiritual mentors and guides that are like, we know the path because we were there when you decided to write this agreement with God. And then they're like, here's how to make it easier. Here's how to unravel from all the codependency and the drama and the crazy that is keeping you from this very clear path ahead. Does it mean it's always going to be easy? No, but you're going to get through it. You're going to even succeed. You may even prosper because you come into alignment with what you already agreed you were going to do with yourself and your own soul. Nobody making you do anything. This is you with you before you came, and then you with you while you're here, and then you with even more of you as you ascend and expand out of this incarnation. We start to understand that God is this all-loving presence that's always saying, yes, yes, what's next? How would you like to fit into the greater plan? How would you like to continue to evolve your individual plan? It's incredible. The universe and God is so generous. It's us that gets it all, that we get all twisted and sideways about like, oh, God's making me do this, or my spiritual guides are making me do that. And it's just like we project onto God, like God is some mean mommy and daddy in the sky, or like our higher self was like so cruel to us. And it's just like, what? No, you decided this before you even came. So, that's not easy when you're looking at trauma. I know, like the things I experienced in the beginning of my life, like I agreed to that. I agreed to that because I had a very big prayer to help expose what's going on this planet. And that was my choice that I had to forgive myself for in this lifetime, boots in the ground in my own human body, to learn how to love myself for making such a radical choice that I would have to live through as soon as I arrived into this world. And it's just like, if I can forgive myself, I'm sorry, like, honest to God, we can all forgive ourselves. And in that journey of forgiving ourselves, we release any old paradigm around having to suffer for the evolution of humanity's future by coming into an alignment with divine will that truly wants to prosper us for all of the very impactful decisions we made and why we came in the way we came in, and how we can live out a destiny that was included along with those choices for the greatest amount of awakening, blessings, prosperity, healing, and success for us to receive, and for return for our willingness to be here. Most importantly, our willingness to identify that we have the power to recognize where our real power lies within our own hearts. It's in our higher self embodiment, which is what we teach through every single curriculum in the Sophia Code Mystery School. Your higher self divinity, that light, that consciousness of your higher self is always in communion with God. And so it's showing you another way to operate your life, that you don't have to, you can use your will, your free will, for a single choice every day. The choice of no choice. That is the choice to show up to the best of your ability to fulfilling your divine purpose, your destiny that you wrote for yourself before you ever got here. That's what's happening every day. You're either like in alignment with that, or you're running from it. And when you include kids, husband, wives, careers, jobs, money, social pressures, media censorship, bullshit pandemics, like World War III happening right in front of our eyes that nobody's actually acknowledging. And then you add that to your daily reality of showing up to your destiny. It's just like it can feel crazy how much we're showing up to. But this is why this conversation about eternal life and the transition of death is just like, it's just one moment in time. And if you understand that your soul is eternal and this is just one lifetime, and we can take like so much hope and strength and fire and courage from knowing that, like, it doesn't matter, you know, how challenging, it is to rise to that occasion of living through the perspective of our higher selves and laying down the trauma of all our lifetimes into this one single angelic lifetime. It's just like, who cares? We're only here for a minute in time. And that's what this event is here to show you. It's just like, we are eternal, invincible souls here on an angelic mission to help save a planet. Bottom line. And if we have allies on the other side and we're willing to get over this dogmatic fear that death is somehow a doorstop that ends all reality, and we tune back into the truth of reality, that we are eternal souls, God is unconditionally loving, has created us in her and his image and likeness. That means we're an unstoppable divine force of nature. That means so too is every other soul that crosses over. Everything is going to come back into alignment through this power of love and healing, and the fact that we are sovereign co-creators with our source that can keep showing up into incarnations, evolving beyond addiction, beyond the traumas of previous lifetimes. It's just like, we are psychically built beings. Like, can we get over the fear of being psychic and step into our intuition? Can we just surrender into how powerful and amazing we are? And that the more we stop fighting that, the more we come into alignment, not only with our own individual sovereign creative power, but with everyone else's sovereign creative power. That's what we're doing as an international movement. That's what we're doing with our Sophia Circle leaders. That's what we're doing with the Sophia Code Foundation. That's what we're doing with the Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective. That's what we're doing at this event. Everything that's connected to the Sophia Code is about your sovereign eternal soul's angelic mission here on Earth that is an unstoppable divine force of power for change in this world. And the more we look death in the face, we realize it has no power over us. And it's actually a doorway to some of our greatest initiations, including the initiation that we have the intuitive capacity to connect with our loved ones who are guardian angels for our divine purpose on the other side, that may be deeply connected to your angelic mission in this lifetime, and to make that connection and to use that connection for your benefit, because you deserve as much support as possible in this lifetime. Because as I shared about 5 minutes ago, it's a big deal lifetime. Journey of navigating what it takes day in, day out, moment by moment, to surrender your free will, which can create an enormous amount of chaos and confusion, both for yourself and everyone else, over to the divine will of your higher self that can operate your human consciousness day in and day out. Whoa. Talk about coming into the fulfillment of your destiny. It doesn't even matter what kind of twists and turns or sideways moments of breakdown, you're always going to find the breakthrough. Because the consciousness of your higher self is always going to break through for your human awareness every time. Even if you're on the floor, bawling your eyes out, it's a breakdown to the breakthrough. And that's a lot of times what loved ones on the other side are attempting to communicate to us. They're attempting to send us that telepathic, heart-to-heart, rainbow bridge from their heart, their soul, to your heart in a human body message, email, telegram, whatever you want to call it, phone call. Hey, reality is much bigger and you're a huge part of transforming it. Here with you, wing to wing, heart to heart. So that's what we're doing in Scottsdale on October 15th. We're picking up the phone lines and we're going direct. We're taking all our power back. religious belief system that would keep you from every single ally that you deserve to have access to in this lifetime for your higher self embodiment to thrive, for you to fulfill your divine purpose, to walk through the journey of your destiny with the reassurance, the reconciliation with your direct communion with God that would never create a universe full of souls that couldn't talk to each other. Why would God do that? It doesn't even make sense if God is the very presence and essence of communion itself. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's KR Daily Transmission. That's a little bit about that. I really encourage you to go back to that Mother Mary chapter in that section about the oversoul, about the divine purpose, about fulfilling your destiny in this lifetime in preparation for love from the other side, and to support your consciousness to integrate, some of these fiery transmissions that have been coming through as we've been walking towards this community gathering together. Again, if you have any questions, feel free, comments, feedback, like this video. Make sure to share your reflections in the video replay comments, because I read those comments and they create more content for our YouTube lives. And please feel free to share this video. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your loving support of the Sophia Code on your social media channels. Please share about love from the other side with your friends and family members that may really need to be there. If you need to get on a payment plan to attend this event, my team angels can support you with that. Like, we're here for you. We are doing this ministry because there are visions that I receive for what our community needs 10 to 20 years in the future. Every event that we do, every curriculum that we offer, it's all interconnected. They're not one-offs. They are literally all interwoven for the education and evolutionary development of our community. We love our community. We believe in the sovereign divinity of our global network of light workers, and we believe that you deserve to be nurtured. Your expansion deserves to be honored and supported, and it's why I'm on here, whether I like it or not. It's part of my destiny to be here with you, and of course, I love it with all my heart, and I don't have to always like it, because you're not required to like your leadership and your show up to it every day. And that's what's happening. That's what it looks like to dedicate your free will to a divine will that knows how to show up, whether it's a cloudy day or the sun's shining, from the inside out. So I love you all so much. Did you have fun? Feel free to share in the chat or the video replay your comments, your reflections. Thank you for liking this video. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you all tomorrow on the KR Daily Transmission here at Kaia Official. Namaste.